So this deck is one that we just got done playing with a little bit on the ladder, and it's absolutely delightful. This is Insidious Roots with Ouroboroid. And this particular version is taking advantage of Viggo, Enforcer of Yg's Crossing, the newest addition through the Omen Pass. This is Eddie Brock in paper. Yeah, Eddie Brock Roots kind of rules. It's pretty great. And so the main benefit, if you're not familiar with Insidious Roots, whenever a creature card leaves your graveyard, you create a 0/1 plant token and then put a +1/+1 counter on all of your plants. Ouroboroid is a plant, and so it gets counters if the Insidious Roots triggers while it's live. And so if we can get Ouroboroid down and then trigger Roots, we just go crazy. And on top of that, the Roots is going wide with plants, and so Ouroboroid then buffs all of them once we go through combat. It gets pretty gnarly pretty fast. And in order to tee this up, we're using 1-drops like Snarling Gorehound, Dragon Sniper, Molt Tender, and Rubblebelt Maverick. All those 1-drops can get brought back with by Viggo, which then also triggers Roots. So you can see the value there is pretty gnarly. We're also going to play set of Overlord of the Balemurk, just because it's really good. Cease Desist is here primarily to deal with like the unit decks being very enchantment heavy, and also the Simulacrum Synthesizer decks. If the Synthesizer repurposing Bay deck is doing its thing, 1 Desist usually wins you the entire game. And I'm not even kidding. Yes, it blows up the Roots, but whatever. It's definitely worth it more often than not. Yeah, so that's why there's one here, and then there's another one in the sideboard in case of that matchup. And the reason that I'm willing to put this in the main as a one-of is because Cease, the instant, exiles 2 creatures from a single graveyard. That can be yours. And if you exile 1 creature from your graveyard, you can get a Roots trigger at instant speed, and then also draw card gain 2. So it's like, it basically cycles itself, so it's not really a dead card if you have that. So, and gaining 2 life is also not nothing, even against like aggro and things. So, yeah. So what do you think we drop Lassie for 4 Broids? You know, it might be better. So we do have Fang and Vanille in here. The reason that I'm running Vanille specifically, like I mainly chose to include the Lassie package for Vanille. The ability to mill a little bit and then pull a permanent from our graveyard to hand is really valuable. If in all of our various mills, like with Molt Tender or with Overlord of the Balemurk, we mill a copy of Insidious Roots, this is the one card that we have in here that can pull it back to our hand. And that can help us build out our engine, right? Quadi Scavenger is another one that I've used to fill that role in the past. But I decided to go with Vanille, and so I thought I might as well throw Fang in here, and there's a chance that we get the Ragnarok action, which, you know, yeah, Wilker, the idea of dropping these for more Broids, I don't hate that. Like, I really don't. I think that is a fine option. But for right now, keeping it as like a one-of flyer, or a one, yeah, 2 one-ofs just in case, I'm here for it. But yeah, 3 Broids. 3 Broids is probably where we want to be. Like dropping Fang and getting a 3rd Broid. Or dropping the Lassie package, getting a 3rd Broid, and then a 3rd cash grab. Like that might be the angle. So anyway, we're still kind of tuning, as you can see, like, you know, very a season to taste kind of a deal. But yeah, right now, the main reason for 2 Broids is because I actually have this deck in paper, aside from the Eddie Brocks. And I only own 2 Ouroboroids, so I'm going to keep it that way for now. But that might have to change, because yeah, that thing's insane. It's real good. Other than that, we're also rocking Scavenging Ooze. We got 3 in the main. We got 1 on the board. It's good against our opponent's graveyards. It's also good at triggering Insidious Roots a lot, potentially. So if we can get Snarling Gorehound and Scavenging Ooze together, really powerful, crazy things happen. So this kind of a deck in the past used Tyvar Jubilant Brawler and like Osteomancer as a way to like cast the entire deck basically for free, or like all in one turn. And it was cool and all, but like, the thing about it is, like, those decks would do combos with, like, Valdaran Thrillseeker as a way to, like, fling a gigantic plant at the end of it, and that was a cool sequence. And this deck doesn't do anything quite like that, but the truth is, if Roots is going, you're producing a ton of bodies, and they're getting very large. And so this deck is trying to generate enough value off of that to be able to just establish board dominance and demand a sweeper, or we win the game, and it's that simple. And Sana14, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. So that's what we're going to try to do. It's going to be, we're going to put our opponent in board wiper bust territory and be aggressive as we go. So that's the move. That's the plan. All right. So, Wilcar, are we getting Edmonton Broccoli before the tourney? So, I'm going to be in MagicCon Atlanta this upcoming weekend, and I'm going to be playing this deck on Friday. in a creator challenge that that Magic Jank is hosting. So huge shout out to Jaffer, who's putting in a ton of work making that happen, as well as Carlo MTG. We're going to be there. We're going to be streaming it on our channels, and I am planning on playing this deck in that event. I might have to get my hands on some Eddie Brocks between now and then. So I might have to plug in a like pick up at the convention hall on Friday morning order somewhere. Because yeah, that might have to happen. Don't get doppelgang too much, Gagrets. Carlo's gonna mill me out though. It's gonna happen. Like he's gonna hit me with the Singularity River Churn combo. That will happen. I know this. So you know, is what it is. But yeah, so no, this will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so I think this deck is genuinely pretty darn strong. It's been my primary ladder deck for a little bit. And Qarsi Revenant is another one. I haven't called this out. This card slaps, rips, rocks, and rules. Right now, I actually thinned this down from a 4 of to a 3 of. Specifically to make space for Viggo, but like this as a 4 of is also totally cool and totally fine. It's very good. Feldon's Cane. Dude, Feldon's Cane as sideboard tech against the Singularity Rupture deck is kind of amazing, actually. I just love that. Yeah, no, that's brilliant tech, dude. Good shout. Anyway, Feldon's Cane, legal and standard for the first time in like 25 years. Actually, legal and standard for the first time ever. If I'm not mistaken, standard wasn't a format when Feldon's Cane would have been legal in it previously. Like, for real. Amazing. Friggin' amazing. Yeah, absolute classic. Oh. But yeah. And it would trigger Roots once. But, you know, hey, it counts. It was in time. Wait, it was in Time Spiral? Okay, I need to double check that. I didn't realize that. Okay, maybe I'm talking out of school. But regardless, it's still dope, and it's been a while. Either way, that point stands. Yeah. Electro Mortality Control, Pijman. You're the only. Well, actually, a lot of sickos missed that, but yeah. But anyway, yeah. So this is the deck. Yay! I've been having a lot of fun with it. All right. Apparently, I've tanked my MMR enough that they're matching me against Platinum. I don't mind it. If this was a black source, this is exactly what I was talking about. If I believed in the heart of the cards and we could find a black source off the top, this would be decent. But yeah, if I could lead with the Snarling Gorehound rather than the Dragon Sniper, I would probably keep this, but I think we need a Molt. This is so much better immediately. All right. Yeah, I don't make the rules. I just think them up and write them down. That's a Cartman line that makes me very happy. Things all up to. Yeah, why is it up to? It's always up to with these guys. Okay. Ah, my face hose. Damn it, you guys. I wasn't going to play this turn anyway. So we're going to be all right. Summer, this isn't controlled. This looks to me like a mono white aggro shell. This is white weenies, which is a tactic that has kind of fallen out of favor, unfortunately. You know, you don't see it as often as you used to. But yeah, there was a time when it was ubiquitous, but not so much these days. Come on in, welcome to my face. Wardenias, very nice, very nice. Ooh, more Wardenias. Honestly, they might have token doublers. They might not. They might just be committing to the cheap creature bit. Let's get snipping with the Dragon Snipper. All right, and we're good on that front, so. Yeah. Yeah, respect the bit. Agreed. Yeah. 4 multiversal passages, pledging 4 roots brews. Oh, Tarot, Waking the Undead. Dude, Totsky, that's a good shout. Yeah. And you can put Starting Town in there too to help with what you're doing. I dig it. All right, there you go. You have seam ripped my roots, but I've already gotten a couple things going, so I'm not as worried about that at this point. And next turn, I'm just gonna freaking raw dog this Ouroboroid, so you know it's cool. Yeah, Edmonton broccoli is definitely bringing the heat here, and I kind of love it. The other thing that's great about Ouroboroid is like it is a gigantic threat that is a huge problem. It starts as a 1-drop and therefore triggers Gorehound. I love that. All right. Yeah, your survivors are doing what they do. Sure. Get after it. Friggin' boosh. Do we attack here? Honestly? No, I think I just sit back. I am not in any hurry here, guys. Truly none. Roots, Molt Tender, Starting Town provides so much 5-color fixing. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Multiversal Passage and Starting Town. Got him. Feels good. Yeah, we can cut the Cease Desist. Let's bring in Scrapshooter for being a 4/4 flyer. Stormbrood here also has an opportunity to be kind of gross. And I love it when stuff's gross. Like a lot. All right. Take that, Sporty Bones. Yes, indeed. You know, good on him for trying to make White Weenie work in 2025. It's an archetype that I think is nowhere near as good as it used to be. Which is kind of a shame, you know, because, like, White Weenie has been classic. The thing is, though, without the hasty threats, like, it feels like they just don't give you enough value for their cost, which is wild to look at, like, a veteran survivor and, like, say, like, I don't know, I don't think this is good enough. Because, like, that card looks stupid in paper, and it's just, I mean, or that's not 1-drop, right? Or am I tripping? I might have gotten the name wrong. But you know, the 1-drop that they were playing, that one. Yeah. Kind of bonkers. Yeah. Well, Gorehound into Scooze with the Stormbrood back to deal with yeah, Veteran Survivor, that one. That one, you know the one I was talking about? Yeah, that one. Rip, okay. And like right here, they're down to 3 cards in hand. They have a 2/1 and an enchantment that is holding my 1-drop hostage. Like, that's all they're rocking with right now. Urging Pixie, breaking up the seam. Okay. I'm trying to never keep track of names. Summer, yeah, no, I don't really keep track of names either. Gage, yep. Yeah, of all the decisions they could have made, that sure was one of them. So. Roots is the heart of this, Foos. Yeah, by a lot. Yeah, Insidious Roots is the whole thing we're doing here. They did? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, Insidious Roots continues to be the whole thing we're doing. Positive judgment playing against AI. I don't know about that.
Life's just foreplay for death, and
It's
most
true.
of us aren't even doing the moaning right. Go out and
Dude.
moan with the biggest smile, chat. I love ya, big bro.
Dude, Trev, I'll love right back at you, my dude. Yes, 100%. Yeah, what he said. All right, you're gonna eat my scoos? Out here eating my scoos. I see you, baby. I'm gonna force him to activate that collector's cage. They can, but I'm gonna make them do it. Not necessarily a worthwhile idea, but screw it. Cards with a slide anywhere, like chalk outline, a black one. Foos. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced with a lot of those, unfortunately. Time to start rooting around, baby. Ding ding. All right. Well, you know, Trav is out here getting in the spirit and being occasionally existential. That's all. And I'm here for it. Is that the pigs here? One of the teams in hand right now? Positivitize? Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. Yep. That thing's not going anywhere, dog. General territory for some more. This is an option. Yeah, they're hovering roots. They're onto us. It's true. And just like that, that Overlord of the Balemurk that we're going to draw here is, like, really terrible. It's still a 5/5, though. So, like, it's still a meaningful attacker. It's just going to be milling a bunch of our crap into exile for no benefit. Which kind of blows. Except for the kinda part. But you know what? It's still a clock. You know? And it also, actually, it was all lands on another copy of Overlord of the Balemurk, so that was actually a very pointless 4 cards. So get them out of here. All right. All right. Now if I could top deck a Disruptive Stormbrood so I could just drop it for full 5 and blow that up, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Exactly, they're helping us thin our deck. Yeah. I believe I also brought the Scrapshooter in here. Yep. So that's also a potential draw. That would be pretty impactful. Because with the Overlord down, like, the Overlord has been established now. If I can get these attack triggers, we're going to be having a good day. You know? Trying to land. You have been pretty hard on them. It's true, they have. Just gotta send the damage. Those draws, I mean, the Dragon Sniper would have been decent, but, like, another copy of Roots, Overlord, you know, this Overlord is helping us, even without getting us access to more cards, it is providing pressure and digging into our, we've lucked out so far, and the 8 that it's milled us has not been relevant, so I'll take it. Yeah, their Pixie's concerned by a vanilla 5/5, that's very true. Great Arashin City. That's pointless. That's genuinely pointless. Well, one of our Disruptive Stormbroods in the hit the brick, so that's a bummer, but here we are. Yeah, plan B stands for beatdown. That's exactly right. They just top deck all the Mistmores. So much for our beatdown plan. We're in top deck another land here, too. We have a 31% chance of doing so. Yep. Yeah, we milled another Stormbrood. Yep. Are they gonna? Oh, they're gonna leave the Overlord alive. Cute. Yeah. Oh no, no, they're not. There they go. Yeah, that rest in peace just totally bodied us. Vigorously. And they drew 3. They drew 3 Overlord of the Mistmoors back to back to fucking back. There is nothing I can do against that. They had almost no resources. Straight up, almost no resources. Honestly, I kind of don't even want to let them know I have this, but fuck it. Wow. Yep. And this one's got only 1 impending, so it's coming offline here. I'm gonna reset the collector's cage. Yeah. Alright, so the cease desist is coming back in. I didn't really value how much of this they were doing. And Virtual Loyalty, man. I haven't seen Virtual Loyalty in a hot minute. I remember. And we drew a land. So we draw 5 lands, they draw 5 bombs. Sure. Yup. The heart of the cards over here being like, yeah, how do you feel about me now? And I'm like, I still hate you, get out. Yep. The original shitty Ouroboroid. Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it shitty, but it was very good in its time. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the Mistmoors, the Collector's Cages, all their removal, they're all enchantments. So, or artifacts. So, cease desist definitely has what it takes here. All right, this hand looks pretty darn good. I'm gonna rock this Insidious Roots, they're gonna seam rip it, and I'm gonna cry. That's the plan. I just wanted to make sure, like, make them have the seam rip from their opener before, you know, if I can throw the Overlord of the Balemurk, spin into a 1-drop and then play it, I'd be really happy because I would also get the roots moving like as quickly as we possibly can. Yeah. So Lich, what's which one? Well, my opinion on what? He's carrying them mythic. Tinfoil head grows. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, a win here is still only 2 pips. Like, it's not like the MMR difference is meaningful. It's also possible that their like actual like MMR, the matchmaking rank, is much higher than their ladder rank. That is a possibility. You know, they might have just been on a crazy hot win streak, and so yeah, their overall rank is much higher than it appears. You know, like the objects in the mirror. All right, I need to make sure that we get at least 1 roots trigger here, so let's do it. Okay, now the Molt Tender is an amazing little 1-drop, but we have Edmonton and multiple Stormbroods have the potential of being incredibly valuable here. So I do not want to give them a chance to exile this out of my graveyard. If they eat the Tender, so be it. Like, I'll be bummed because I'd really like to be able to eddy it out, but whatever. I'll live, you know? Okay. Yeah, they target the Overlord. Possibly. You know what? I was about to play this on turn 4 with 1 extra mana lying around anyway. So, not that big a deal. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. We are marching forward, everybody. Three or less. Yeah. It'll be interesting if they tap down enough for that Warden. They know I have the Stormbrood. So if they want to tap down the Lightstall Inquisitor, the Warden itself, and the Moth, this gets outside of Stormbrood range. And they do. All right. So they're giving up an attack this turn, which is kind of huge. Boop. Just a little whoopsie doodle there. And do we establish the Skoos or do we? I think we established the Skoos. Okay. Hold the Brood for the rip that's coming. That's what this one's for, exactly. All right. Neat. Love that for me. Look how much I love that for me. Mm-hmm. Yep. Great. Love that for me. Still loving it for me. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, this is an awkward time for that. Draw X cards, then we put a permanent card with mana value X from your hand onto the battlefield where X is sacrifice creature's mana value. So we do have the Brood here, which is a 5-drop. I think this was worth it. We'll see. Okay. Now we have the Molt Tender and the Skoos up. And we have 2 creatures in our graveyard. Plus Gorehound here to help refill it. So I think we'll be okay. We'll see. Every other card in their deck is an Overlord of the Mistmoors. I swear to God, are they running 9 copies of this fucking thing? This is ridiculous. Ouroboroid is a 3/5 the first turn it lands. Would it be? Potentially. But actually, what I want to do is I want to go wider. So I'm going to do this. That gives us a trigger. Not looking at that. Not interested in that either. I only have one creature in here. I've not been milling particularly well. But yeah, we've got a lot of width right now. And I'm grateful for that. I think that's rad. What are these 9 cards in my graveyard? Like, none of them are creatures? Ugh. There we go. I want to put another counter on the Broid. Or 2 more counters on the Broid. Hey, Summer, you got this. You gotta get it. Oosh. Hey, Metal Slug, good morning. How we doing? Think we hold box for now? I'm gonna hold the flyer back. Absolutely. But those were my only available attacks. But yeah, if we got added 2 Mistborns in the deck because you're sick of sweepers, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I only had 1 flying blocker anyway. And that's what matters. But they didn't have a way to deal with it. So, G to the G's, babies. All right. All right, let's get into this. So we've added Viggo to the Broots deck. And there he is, opening hand. Let's go. Sick. And I do really enjoy being able to lead off with a Molt Tender and then something for 1 mana that can put a card in my graveyard. So Underground Mortuary, like our land drop. And basically, if this shows anything but Insidious Roots off the top, well, then we're going to be good. But I see the Insidious Roots, therefore, I'm also not going to mill with the Molt Tender this turn, so here we go. Yes, good luck, my friend. Prepare to remove my shit. Exactly. So, Summer, do we find Standard Brawl enjoyable? In the time that I have played Standard Brawl, it's, I have liked it more than I expected to. My expectations were also in the absolute toilet, so take that for what it's worth. But yeah, I think it's interesting. Yeah. Okay, and we're going up against Izzet, and they're going to take their sweet, sweet time, apparently. This would have been a good time to get rid of the cottage, but oh well. I don't believe Mortal Kombat has come to Arena, no. Which is a shame, because that card rules. Oh, Summer, I'm sorry that you're sick. That sucks. Oh, girl. Hey, you guys. Viggo, Gorehound. Make a dude. Get her survey alone. Stocking on up, stocking on up. Asmar, you've seen VV decks cutting VV? They're wrong to do so. But where are you seeing that? Don't get me wrong. I believe the VV deck is good enough even without VV, but I don't. I can't condone cutting it. That doesn't seem right. Positivize, you banned VV from your play. How do you do that exactly? Oh, you just don't use them? Okay. The 5-0 leagues from today? Really? Interesting. Okay. And McCool, good morning. Rough Cove picked your draft last night. Oh no! I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Alright. Let's hit this. And Gorehound, work your magic. Bruh. I'll do this. I really dislike that this is what I'm targeting with this, but I really want another Roots trigger. Alright. Okay. Hey, Tactical Headass, what up? Good morning. How's the family? I did actually, yeah, I got to hang out with my little one yesterday, and they're amazing. It went great. So yeah, all in all, going well. Yeah, we got to overwhelm VV Cauldron. Feels good. Does feel good. Can't deny it. Yeah, Intimidation Tactics hits both VV and the Cauldron, so that seems like a winner to me. DTs aren't going anywhere. Viggo actually put in some work there. And if I'm adding non-creatures, I want to thin out non-creatures. The Cease Desist was relevant, but I don't think it's going to be amazing, so I'll go ahead and cut it. Incoming Rip Splash. Well, that would shut off their Cauldron, so they'd have to take the Cauldron out if they did that. Which I don't hate. Yeah. This start, you guys. Feels good. Yeah. The one just had turned 4 2 weeks ago. Oh my goodness, adorable. I love it. Love it. Yeah, my little one's birthday's coming up. They're gonna be 9. I'm so not ready for that. Yeah. Lead off with a Tandy. Zach touched the guy's 10. Oh, freaking adorable. Let's go. When you entered high school summer? Wait, what? Really? In an advanced program? Okay. That's impressive. They're gonna torch my Tandy. Yep. Molt Tender is an incredibly important part of this deck, so they are correct to do so. And they're going to torch the Snarling Gorehound, which is also correct. Oh, they're going to Flood Maw it? Oh, that's actually not that big a deal. Okay. I'm missing out on 1 Surveil. It's going to put a critter in the yard real quick. 1 Surveil and 1 black mana. Yeah, the 1 black mana. That's true. But it's fine. They have another Torch. This was a brilliant opening hand to keep me kind of off my game. However, I've got plenty more of where that game came from. So, big fat whatevskis. Do you have yet another 1-drop? Another Into the Floodmaw? Sure. This time I do have the black mana to pay for it, though, and I wasn't going to do anything else with it, so... Like, that they went down a card and 1 mana to deny me 1 Surveil. Opponent, if you think that's worth it, get after it. Treat yourself. Don't let me stop you. Yeah, they're scared. They are big scared. 100%. A Braid. Jesus, they slided in all of their removal. Just nothing but removal. Clearly. And they're not wrong, for the record. Except they should have had some counter spells. Let's go. Whee! But yeah, positivity, you would have torched the Gorehound for real. That's, yeah. And that would have been correct. It's gotta be Broids, right? It's gotta be Broids. So Summer, two for 1 and down a card? Yes. Great question. Ultimately, what that is coming down to, what that means when we say stuff like that, is what is the cost? Like, what is the actual cost of doing the things you're doing? And that includes not just mana, but how many cards are coming out of your hand? How many resources are you spending? So when you say 2 for 1, if I'm using 1 card and it answers 2 of yours. So if you have 2 creatures down, or if you have like a meaningful threat in your graveyard, like let's say you have an Esper Origins in your graveyard and you have 1 creature online, a Strategic Betrayal answers both of those. That's a clean 2 for 1. I've spent 1 card and now you lost 2 cards worth of value. And so those kinds of, that's where matches are usually won or lost, is in how quickly, or what is the resource exchange? How many resources did you use up to mobilize your game plan versus theirs? And so, like, that's why, like, Into the Floodmaw is a great example of an incredibly powerful card, except your opponent isn't truly down a card. They are down on mana spent and board presence. But you're putting the card back into their hand. They didn't lose it. But yeah, so our opponent sideboarded maybe a little bit too aggressively, and they weren't able to put together a game plan. So there we go. Boom. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And I also want to give a huge shout out and huge thank you to my Twitch subscribers, YouTube channel members, and of course, patrons who make this show possible. Y'all are absolutely fantastic. I literally couldn't do this without you. Thank you. I stream over on Twitch Monday through Friday, starting at around 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's the content that you're seeing here in these deck tech videos is, decks that are kind of chopped up from the live stream, hence the chat and all that jazz. So if you'd like to join in over there, we'd really appreciate it. Twitch.tv/hamhawks42. I'd like to see you there. And before I go, I do want to call out the patrons specifically who make this possible: Angry Jellyfish, Dave E., Hal, Carl, Levi Grattan, Big Mamu, and Vance. Thank you. You're amazing. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, and also, I'm going to be at MagicCon Atlanta next weekend. If you are there, please stop by, say hi. I am also a hugger, but I respect people's space, so if you would like a hug, they are free to redeem. Also, I'm going to be giving away business cards, tokens, and getting in Commander games. So if you're interested in playing a game with me and you see me walking around, just come grab me. As long as I'm not busy with something else, I'd love to get a game in. Again, thank you. You're freaking awesome. Catch you on the next one.